Committee reports. Legislative update, Mrs. Shorter.
I do have a brief one. This is just an update about the Senate committee. They brought together representatives from several education groups to discuss what school districts will need to do in order to start the school year in the fall. So the Senate Finance Committee held a panel discussion Tuesday in which they heard from the Buckeye Association of School Administrators, the Ohio Education Association, the Ohio Federation of Teachers, and the Ohio School Board Association. So those who spoke during the meeting said proper funding to allow equity in schools, proper safety measures to make sure high-risk populations are protected, flexibility for school districts to plan for their unique needs are all top priorities for districts across the state. So the president of OEA said that schools will and should reopen when public health standards can be met. When that happens, we look forward to welcoming our students to a more equitable, safe, and dynamic learning environment that meets the promise of public education that all students, parents, families, and educators deserve. The education group spoke highly of assistance brought through House Bill 197. So the legislature's response to coronavirus-related economic losses and said the resources needed to be replicated if districts are to continue in the current education landscape. So they are making, they are at least having conversations, and there's a framework being laid out, or basic provisions, things that we think need to be in place in order to open safely. That's it.
Thank you, Mrs. Shorter. Any questions for Mrs. Shorter? Okay, Butler Tech update. Just wanted to let everybody know that Butler Tech will be having a drive-by or drive-through senior ceremony on 5/26. They'll be having it one half of the Fairfield Township campus and the Monroe campus will have drive-through ceremonies. On 5/27, the other half of the Fairfield Township campus will have their ceremony. And on 5/28, the Westchester campus will have their ceremony. Still plan on having the August 3rd in person at Cintas Center if it's not canceled. And I send everybody the newsletter on Saturday, so if there's any questions about that, feel free to reach out to me. And that's all I have for this evening. Oh, and I'm sorry, also the adult education campuses are back open, so the adults are attending classes in our adult education center. Questions about that? Okay, Planning Commission, Mr. Begley?
Yes, we did meet as a planning commission to approve a new restaurant. I also attended a city council meeting as a representative of the planning commission for a first reading for that restaurant. It is a Dunkin' restaurant, which is the new branding for the old Dunkin' Donuts. And it will be located on their property adjacent Chick-fil-A in front of Myers Restaurant.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Begley? Thank you, sir. And our very first student achievement update, Mrs. O'Neill.
This is like the best job ever. I'm going to love this job all year long. So obviously we're not in school, so it's a little tricky to connect with students, but I wanted to give, I feel like I want to say it so slow because they deserve like their accolades to take as long as possible. I just wanted to comment again on our valedictorian and our salutatorian this year for Fairfield High School. Our valedictorian is Megan Barth, who has a 4.8 GPA. 4.8. Did any of us have a 4.8? Raise your hand if you had a 4.8. Megan Barth, nobody is raising their hand. So I am so proud of you. And Megan is going to study physical therapy at Lebanon Valley College. And then our salutatorian this year is Alex Dorst. I feel like both of these kids normally, if our school year was going how it normally would, they would receive kind of praise after praise after praise. And they just, because of the way this year is ending, aren't getting that. So I'm gonna talk as slow as I can Alex Dorst has a 4.780. Okay, again, did any of us have a 4.780? Raise your hand. Alex, nobody raised their hand. So he has a 4.780. He's going to study chemical engineering at the University of Cincinnati. It makes me so proud that both of these are products of the Fairfield City Schools. And I mean, the whole kind of top 20, they're all amazing, but I just felt like those two especially deserve just a little bit of extra praise for. That's a lot of work. That's years of hard work. That's years of sacrifice that they deserve the accolades and a moment of praise. So congratulations to Megan and Alec. And I'm going to love this job all year long.
And we will not give you a time limit. You can
Good.
you want about
Megan had a 4.8 and Alec had a 4.780. I'm going to say it one more time. It's amazing. They're amazing.
Well, I do tell people that I graduated in the top 98% of my class. So that's ahead of just 2%, right? But well, thank you very much.
And that
Mr.
is
O'Neill.
it for me this evening. But I hope, I don't know when each of them are going through the ceremonies in next week, but I just wish them both the best. And as Billy always says, like, once you're an Indian, you're always an Indian. So I hope they come back and shower us with all that they accomplish.
Great. Thank you very much, Mrs. O'Neill.
Yes.